So what's up, everyone, and happy Wednesday, happy hump day. So, I also like to call Wednesday sometimes Wisdom Wednesday. So the ironic thing about today's message is I want to talk about wisdom, actually. So y'all ready to get into this message? Let's get right so that we don't get left. Okay, so first, before I really get into wisdom, let's talk about growth and change, because as humans we are naturally supposed to grow and change. We are not meant to stay the same, and a lot of people do. um and I was reading something earlier where it was talking about dogs and cats and their fur, right? Because the same way, that we change in some way, animals do too. And their example of change is their fur. Like, the funny thing that I did not know is that cats' fur go through 4 different stages throughout the year. And it is shedding, of course, the new hair coming in, um I think the hair grows till it's full length. And the crazy thing that really got me was that their fur goes through a stage of rest. And that's so funny because, in life, we as humans, throughout the seasons that we go through in life, certain seasons require us to rest, to be still in God. And a lot of times that season is in when you go through separation from people, or just really being still in God and trusting in God, right? So that was just really ironic to me that cats fur go through that same stage. But the thing that we all have to know and understand, that we are the only species that actually really can grow and change our minds. The only ones. Animals can't do that. They can't change their minds. They can't grow in their minds. They are who they are, and that is just that. But we can. And so the question that I, sometimes ask myself is, when you see people who don't change, who are just the same, and you're like, how can you be the same? How can you be okay with being the same? And my conclusion, my opinion is lack of wisdom. Because when you lack wisdom, you really aren't wise in most areas of your life and within yourself. See, because wisdom develops us. Wisdom helps us to dodge a lot of bullets. Wisdom gives us the knowledge to know when something is good and when something is bad. We're wise enough to know how to avoid a lot of situations that will lead us to destruction, death, or overall just down the wrong path. So, therefore, I feel like you need to ask God for wisdom. You should seek wisdom in your life, because wisdom is the one of the key qualities that we need to navigate this thing called life. And without it, baby, a lot of people are lost. They are lost. They feel like that what they are and where they are and who they are is okay. And it's not, especially if you aren't going anywhere. Especially if you are continuing to make bad decisions in your life, it's because you lack wisdom. And if you go to the Bible, if you're familiar, and if you're not, I want to make you aware and encourage you to go read the story of Solomon. Because see, Solomon, asked God for one thing, and it was wisdom to help him to lead the people of Israel, right? And because he didn't ask for riches and materialistic things like most people do, the first thing we want to ask for is the materialistic things, which I get it, because a lot of times there are certain things that we need. But get this, Solomon was the richest man in the Bible, because he was the only one that asked God for wisdom. He didn't ask God for nothing else but wisdom and understanding. And because he didn't ask God for any of those other things, guess what? God blessed him abundantly with all those things. So therefore, he was the richest man in the Bible. Now, don't get me wrong, he didn't always follow his wisdom, because I think that's what happens too whenever we get, distracted by the things of the world, that leads us away from the wisdom that we ultimately have. But having the wisdom alone is what's going to help us to lead a great and a healthy and a happy life, a life that's going to allow you to change and grow. See, because when you're happy and you're at peace, a lot that I think it allows you to want more of that, right? Because you're feeling like, okay, if I can get this, if I can get to this place, imagine where else I could go. So that's what allows you to change. It's the wisdom that you have, and through experience, it's what develops wisdom. So again, it baffles me when I know a lot of people, you go through certain situations in life, but yet you are still stuck in the lack and the poverty. So listen, we all need wisdom. So if you lack wisdom, if you want wisdom, you have to seek wisdom. You have to ask for it from God. So that is something that we all should do. Listen, on this beautiful Wisdom Wednesdays, let's all seek to have that, because also having wisdom will protect us from so much in life. So much negativity, so much destruction, so much lack, so much poverty. It will lead you to a straight and narrow path in life. So listen, on this beautiful Wednesday, you guys, let's get more wisdom. And as always, let's be motivated, but most importantly, let's stay inspired.